Pre-need, funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. In obituary news on this a Friday morning, Frank Lee Clisby, lovingly known as Sonny, funeral service for Mr. Clisby will be provided through Grace Memorial Chapel. Visitation is Saturday from 2 till 6 at the funeral home, and graveside service will be Sunday at 11 a.m. from Evergreen Cemetery, Grace Memorial Chapel Funeral Home in Sylacauga, directing. Graveside service for Dylan Curtis will be 11 o'clock Monday morning at Old Childersburg Cemetery, Curtis & Son Funeral Home, directing. Funeral arrangements will be announced for Betty Beiser of Huntsville. Those arrangements through Curtis & Son Funeral Home in Sylacauga. Visitation for Billy Crow will be Saturday from Curtis & Son North from 1 until 2, with the funeral service at 2 in the North Chapel. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, Sylacauga, directing. Celebration of Life service for Julia Ann Averett, age 48, will be Saturday at 1 o'clock from Community Funeral Home Chapel. Minister Dion Averett officiating. Interment in the Evergreen Cemetery. Visitation today, 1 until 7 at the funeral home, Community Funeral Home, directing. Funeral service for Mr. James Pope will be today at 11 o'clock from Community Funeral Home in Sylacauga, with burial in the Alabama National Cemetery in Montevallo. And funeral service for Cornetia Cross will be Saturday at 1 o'clock from First United Methodist Church in Sylacauga, with burial in the Lily Roden Enon Cemetery of Childersburg. Visitation today, 1 until 7 at the funeral home, Community Funeral Home, directing. Graveside service for Carol M. Harris, age 79, of Sylacauga, will be Saturday at 2 o'clock from Marble City Cemetery, with Brother David Roselle officiating. Mrs. Harris died Monday, July 5th at her residence. And Radley Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga, directing. And Larry J. Sumners, age 74, of Sylacauga, died this morning at Coosa Valley Medical Center. Funeral arrangements to be announced by Radley Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga. Many of you knew Larry and his wife Denise and that family, and we certainly send our condolences to the Larry Sumners family this morning. That is a look at obituaries this morning, brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. For pre-need funerals, burials, and cremation since 1975, Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.